Laker fans, how's everybody doing? Great to see everyone. We're inching closer. We're about a week out from the Lakers' first regular season game against Minnesota. They'll play host to them at Crypto. Can't wait. Nothing better than getting the season underway. The Lakers will host the Warriors in their fourth preseason game. All looking forward to that. Whenever these two teams get together, it's always fun. I mean, there's been some classics over the last few years. These teams are always kind of battling for playoff position with each other. So we'll get into a little preview of them later. We'll talk about who is under more pressure, the Lakers or the Warriors, to go farther. But first, I'm going to talk about potential options at center. Shams Charania, who just got hired at ESPN as the senior NBA insider analyst, he talked about how he had a report last week on NBA Today that the Lakers have been in the market for a center. They've been checking with teams, kind of feeling things out. Right now, it's obviously Anthony Davis. Jackson Hayes has been a really nice add. He's been good, really impressed in training camp. The Laker organization, Sham said. And he was nice last year. He's played nice in the preseason game. He really can stretch the floor fast, can score. And I think he's going to get a lot of minutes, especially early on. Christian Koloko, who the Lakers just signed, he's dealing with a blood clot. Apparently, the Lakers do think that he will come back. They feel good about it. But, even when he does come back, he's going to have to work up to that's a serious thing. He's going to have to work up to game speed a little bit, but they do think that he's kind of a reserve rotational guy. So be interesting to see what the Lakers have there. The Lakers finished 18th in rebounds per game last year with 43.1. They did finish second in the NBA in points in the paint with 55.6, but kind of a worrisome thing. Last year, the Lakers finished dead last in both offensive rebounds and second chance points. That can't happen. This kind of went under the radar a little bit, I think, because of the lack of bench scoring and that the Lakers did score a lot from the paint. So they thought, it seemed like everything was fine. They didn't rebound the ball great last year, especially offensively. So looking at a few options, I think Clint Capella would be great. He's a veteran. He's got an expiring contract over $22 million. You'd have to give up a little bit more. It seems like there would have to be a package around a Rui, a Jared Vanderbilt, a Gabe Vincent. I don't know if giving up Jared Vanderbilt to try to get better defensively in the front court would do much for you if you're giving up such a great defender on the perimeter. But he is great. I mean, he pulled down 4.6 offensive rebounds in just under 26 minutes per game last year. That would equate to 6.4 in 36 minutes. He led the NBA in offensive rebounds per game by a lot, by 0.8, and was number 3 in the association in offensive rebound percentage. He'd be great. He's a great defender. He adds some scoring. I think he could be a really nice add. But again, are you willing to give up one of those guys? Does that really, hurt the guard position, hurt the defensive part of the backcourt? I don't know, but it would be fun to see Capella and AD go together. That'd be a pretty formidable front court. And but the Lakers have to shell out a lot, and the expiring contract would be nice. Another guy, Walker Kessler, Utah Jazz. He's really young, really good player. Last year had a little over 8 points per game. Just under 8 rebounds, about 3 offensive boards per game, and almost 3 blocks a game. And that was only in 24 minutes a game. Opponents shot only about 50.9% when they had to guard him or go up against him. So he would be great. Now, Utah's asking a lot. They're asking 2 first-round draft picks in any trade per Mark Stein of his podcast, The Stein Line. Now, I think the thing comes down to it, you would get a really good player that'd be with the Lakers for a long time. But here's the thing. If you're going to shell out that kind of collateral, he has to be playing at the end of the year. In the playoffs, it can't just be in the fourth quarter that AD goes back to center and Walker Kessler goes to the bench. Because if you're going to give that kind of collateral, the amount of draft picks, possible players to get him, he needs to be playing, and it needs to be Kessler starting at center and AD at the 4. So if the Lakers really are interested in doing that, and JJ Redick wants a more guard-oriented starting 5, I don't know that you give that up because the Jazz know how valuable he is. Teams have been calling left and right on him, so they're holding pretty firm to it, thinking a team will cave. But he would be nice on the Lakers. Don't get me wrong. Probably the most affordable guy, Day'Ron Sharpe, Brooklyn Nets. He's expiring contract, $3.9 million. He's 6'9", 265 pounds, 7-foot wingspan. Last year, he had averaged just about 7 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3 offensive boards, 1 assist, and about a block a game. And that was only 15 minutes. 15 minutes he got per game with Brooklyn. He ranked number 2 in the NBA in offensive rebound percentage and number 12 in defensive rebound percentage among players who appeared in at least 60 games. That'd be big. I think that'd be a guy that you could get pretty affordable. Obviously, doesn't mess with the salary cap a lot, only $3.9 million. And then you got to see what you got. You got a lot of high upside guys. Jackson Hayes, I think, has enormous upside. Christian Coloco, a lot of teams wanted him. And the Lakers were fortunate to get him a month ago. He would be big. And then you add in Sharp. These are a lot of guys that you get three kind of high upside guys and hoping one can pop and really play next to AD. I think that'd be an interesting get, and it wouldn't cost too much. The Nets, he's not super valuable to the Nets. I think you could get him for maybe just a pick or a low rotational player. I think it'd be interesting for the Lakers to think about, because they definitely do need some help in the front court. And when the Lakers had the most success in 2020, it was Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, guys throwing fouls at Jokic. We know in the last couple of years how much the Lakers have struggled when they played the Nurkic's, they played the Jokic's, guys like that. AD can't be off the floor. And that's what happens when he has to guard these great players. He's going to pick up fouls, and that's just not a winning formula. So we'll see what happens. Who's under more pressure, the Lakers or the Warriors? These two teams are interesting because they seem like they're always jostling for a position every year. As a Laker fan, I always feel like I'm watching Golden State games, rooting for them to lose, because it impacts the Lakers, where the Lakers are going to be seated. These two teams have played some classics over the years. They're both in kind of interesting spots, because last year we know the Lakers lost in 5 games to the Nuggets. The Warriors got eliminated by the Kings in the play-in tournament. The year before, the Lakers beat them in the Western Conference semifinals. And then in 2022, we know that the Warriors won the title. They beat the Celtics. They won a title 2022. The Lakers won a title 2020. Both teams with aging stars, a lot of talent, a lot of history of both these programs and organizations. And they're in different spots, because right now, even being unbiased, I really would think the Lakers have a better roster. I think they're more equipped to go deeper in the playoffs. They just have a lot more tools. And I think if they stay healthy, there's a real shot that the Lakers do go far. The Warriors, are still very guard oriented. They still don't have like a traditional center. It's tough to ask them to go beat a Jokic, beat a Nurkic, beat a Lakers, beat an AD, when they literally don't have a traditional center. It's Draymond Green having to guard these guys. And if he gets any foul trouble, it's just a small ball lineup. The Warriors, have to really be raining threes. And that's tough to ask over a 7-game series, to just be shooting lights out, shooting so much better than the other team, and not kind of getting easy bunny layups and buckets like that. So I guess I'd say the Warriors are under pressure in a different sense. They're under pressure in the sense that, Curry could leave. Curry's on a 1-year extension, a little over $62 million. Like, he's 36 years old. He's still got a lot of years left of high level play. He's kind of even hinted. He says he wants to be a Warrior for life. Obviously, spent his whole career there. But if the Warriors are packing it in, and it looks like he just kind of wastes the last few years. We saw what he did in the Olympics. He's still an elite top player. It wouldn't be crazy to see if he was going to get moved. So the Warriors kind of went all in, adding a bunch of new pieces. The Lakers, I think, always have just tons of pressure. They're the Los Angeles Lakers. We expect championships. LeBron, obviously 40 years old. How many years does he have left? Don't know. Or at least how many years left does he have of high-level elite play? So I go with the Lakers. In terms of the Warriors, they're under a lot of pressure to keep their star, and they got to keep him happy. And I'll get into that in a minute with the team preview and kind of what they did. But I go with the Lakers, because I do think the Lakers have more ways to win. And if you look around, the Nuggets have really just been in the Lakers' way the last 2 years, and they fared pretty well against all these other teams. I do think the Lakers got a real shot, whereas the Warriors, I think, definitely need to add a piece. They were trying to get Lauri Markkanen hard in the offseason. That would have been really interesting if you would have got Markkanen with Curry. So it kind of shows you that they don't think that they're really where they need to be. It's really just Curry and a bunch of good role players. Draymond's not a superstar anymore, and obviously Klay's not there. So I would go with the Lakers, but the Warriors have a lot of pressure as well. Looking at Golden State specifically, this team, added a lot of guys. DeAnthony Melton, great defensive player. Buddy Hield, a guy that the Lakers have been linked to for years. I mean, every time there's been a trade discussion, Buddy Hield's been a centerpiece of that. He's really, honestly, what the Lakers have needed for a lot of years. He's a guy who can sit in the corner, hit shots, big shots. I feel like every time he plays the Lakers, he always kind of kind of dogs us out. Unfortunately, him and De'Aaron Fox, because we don't end up getting him in a trade. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we can shut the Warriors down. But he's been a great player. It sucks it kind of never worked out, the timing to get him in a Laker uniform, and Kyle Anderson as well. So those are three really good players. D'Anthony Melton's a great defender. Buddy Hield, great shooter, and Kyle Anderson's just a really good player all around. This team is going to go as far as obviously Curry goes, but the rest of the team can take him. Steve Kerr has already said he wants a 10-man rotation. He thinks there's 13 guys that could crack the lineup. Brandon Podziemski, great defender. D'Anthony Melton, I got another great defender. But again, I do think that the lack of center, and they clearly know it because they try to get Lauri Markkanen hard in the offseason. Draymond Green just simply can't guard some of these guys. And I know he's been a great defender his whole career, but he can't guard a Jokic. He can't guard a Nurkic. He can't really guard an AD. Some of these guys, they're just too big for him. He's really naturally more of a 4 than he is a 5. So I think they will look to make a deal halfway through the year, assuming they can kind of tread water. This is a team, Golden State always, they're a team that could beat a team by 30 any night because they can shoot lights out with Curry. I know Clay's not there anymore. He's with Dallas. But Clay, that was kind of a weird thing the last couple of years. Obviously, he averaged like 19 points a game, off the bench last year. But there was a lot there with Clay feeling slighted that he was benched. He was the splash brother, and he ended up playing better off the bench. He was really bad 2 years ago. But it's weird not seeing all those guys together. It's going to be weird seeing Clay in a Mavs uniform. But it's just Draymond and Steph left. I do think Steve Kerr's got his work cut out for him. They're going to need to add somebody, and I think they're going to need to add somebody to keep Curry happy because, as I mentioned, Curry has got years left, and I doubt he wants to waste it just, kind of wasting away on the Warriors if they're not serious contention. I think the Lakers and Warriors will be competing for some spots at the end of the year, but I do think the Lakers are a little bit deeper if they're healthier. Obviously, LeBron older than Curry, but I think if the Lakers are healthy, there's some more bodies and players to take them farther and add some more rest. Curry's really got to be lights out every game for the Warriors to win. It's tough to ask, looking at that supporting cast, and think that they're going to win a lot of games in a loaded Western Conference without Curry going off. So thank you guys for listening. We're home stretch. We're ready for the season. Excited for this game right here, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you very much.